So we look at the next question. It says, copy the angle below, then bisect the copied angle. Leave all construction marks. So I know that I'm going to have to copy the angle below, then I'm also going to bisect the copied angle. So in order to start this construction, I need to have my straight edge and just a pencil. I'm first going to start by just using my straight edge and just drawing a straight line. I don't know exactly how long this line needs to be, so just to be safe, I always go a little bit extra. I'm going to use the end of this line, this end point here, and that's going to be the same point as this point on my angle, the vertex. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to use my compass, and I'm going to match the bullseye with the vertex of the given angle. So I match the bullseye there, and I just adjust the slider just so that it has a length where I could do an arc that's going to cross both of those rays. So this is good. I just make an arc, and the important part is that I wanted it to cross both rays, which it did do here and here. So without adjusting my slider at all, I'm now going to match the bullseye with the endpoint of the line that I drew. So I match the bullseye there, and I'm going to, without changing the slider, make another arc. I need it to be a little bit extra long because I don't know exactly how much it's going to need to cross the other ray. But now, if I notice, I have one of those points where the arc crosses one of my rays, which this point is now going to be the same as this point. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to match the bullseye with this point right here where the arc crosses one of the rays. So I put my bullseye there, and I'm going to adjust my slider so that I can see this point of intersection in this small hole here. So I adjust my slider, and there it is. I am matched up with both of those points. The bullseye is where the arc crossed the ray, and this one is here. So now I make a small little arc. What I notice is that where my two arcs cross is a point of intersection, and this ray goes right through that point. So what I need to do now is come down to this construction, and without adjusting that slider at all, I match the bullseye with the point that I already had, and on the other side I am just going to make an arc with the same hole that I used before. So I make an arc right here, and I now see that where my two arcs cross, there is a point of intersection. The same way that here, where my two arcs cross, there was a point of intersection. And now I'm going to draw my last side of the angle connecting the vertex and that point of intersection. At this point, what I have done is I have copied the angle. In order to bisect the angle now, I am already made one step that I need to do. When I bisect an angle, I need to have an arc that crosses both rays, which that arc is already constructed right here. So all I need to do now is take my compass, and I'm going to match the bullseye with one of these points where it crosses the ray. So I'm going to start with this one here. I adjust my slider to any length. This one does not matter, but what's going to be important is I want it long enough that if I made a arc from this point, that those two arcs will cross in the middle. So I just adjust it. I say this is probably good enough here, and I make a fairly large arc because I don't know how long it needs to be. So now, without adjusting my slider, I'm just going to match the bullseye with this point here now. So I match my bullseye there. I haven't changed my slider, so I go ahead and I make another arc. I notice that those two arcs intersect at one point here, and if I connect the vertex to that point, I have now bisected the copied angle. So I draw the ray connecting the vertex through that point, and I have now bisected this larger angle. And that concludes that question.